Where are you? Oh, don't give me that look. We need to talk about your quality control. Can you explain what this is? What in the world 3 is wrong with you? It sounds petty, but today I'm going to be breaking into every little thing, good and bad, about this game. I'm still in the middle of editing this video. What is this? As a big Pac-Man fan, I feel like it's my civic duty to inform the public of anything this funny little lemon is up to in the world of gaming. I could talk all day about game quality and history, but today we're gonna zero in on Pac-Man's latest game, Pac-Man.
Hey, it's me from the future! Later in the video, I gotta warn you that the game is actually...
So, some of you may remember a while ago, I talked about Pac-Man Chomp Champs, the Google Stadia game that was retooled and resold as an online-only game. In parts 1 and 2, I break down what makes the games really good and really disappointing. To keep it simple, I value Pac-Man immensely and want all his games, big or small, to have a high standard of quality in play. So imagine my surprise last year when I saw this tweet. Bandai Namco filed a trademark for Pac-Man Superfast in Europe today. It was vague, but the name alone was really promising. What could the game possibly be? A new mainline game to surpass Championship Edition? Something focused on speed that would be highly competitive? A collaboration with Sonic maybe? Hey, don't call me crazy. During 2023, Pac-Man and Sonic were getting really buddy-buddy with merch collabs, so this assumption was actually kind of valid. Fast forward a year later, and without further ado, here is Pac-Man Superfast.
Oh, brother!
Oh boy, how am I gonna defend this one? So yeah, it's a mobile game, online only, and for some inexplicable reason, locked to YouTube of all places. Upon my first playthrough on mobile, Superfast really feels like a janky ROM hack of the original Pac-Man, and while I shouldn't be dramatic just to ham things up for YouTube, you are going to feel a difference. The gimmick of this game is the speed meter at the bottom that increases as you eat more dots and gain points without dying. Okay, so now we're just Dollar Store Championship Edition now. Speed started easy and then moved up to brisk, and the titular Superfast speed is obtained at around round 6 and ends off with Doom speed. However, as you progress through the stages, your base speed will increase by default. Now, one thing that is cool is how the colors will change upon different speed levels. Easy gives you the default colors, but Steady changes the maze to green. Brisk changes it to a bronzes yellow, and Fast turns the stage into a nice violet. Very Fast makes the stage purple, and the name of the game, Superfast, turns the stage into a nice crimson red. Now, this is the part of the video where I'm going to give you a big warning for flashing lights. It starts off slow at first, but things speed up, so if you want to skip to that part of the video, either go to the timestamp here, or just don't look at the screen and wait for me to say that the flashing's over. Everyone good? Okay. So, resuming where I left off, something weird starts to happen once you hit crazy speed. For one, Pac-Man and the monsters all get a slightly different look resembling their skins in Championship Edition, and the maze turns into a nice pretty cyan color. However, this starts to happen. Now, while that seems like the most inoffensive flashing, I can assure you, valued viewer, that it does in fact get worse. Upon reaching insane speed, you get this really cool looking red and dark blue color scheme that still flashes. Maniac speed gives you this mint green and dark blue color scheme that looks really good if it again wasn't for the flashing. Next up is Maniac Plus speed, and I urge you, if you are prone to having any sort of seizures, this is your final chance to skip ahead or look away. For speeds Maniac Plus, Maniac Plus Plus, and Maniac Plus Plus Plus, the game takes things up a notch by flashing every color of the rainbow in your face. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually really bad, and I can't believe there's no type of warning or option to turn off the lights or the flashing, because something this atrocious is just inexcusable in my opinion. The final stage of the game, which happens to be number 13, don't know if that's intentional, but nice touch, is the Doom speed. This final stage flashes just like the past stages, but with the added details of the colored borders. I know not everyone's affected by flashing lights like myself, but did nobody notice this and think, oh, that's kinda intense, we should fix it? Nah, it's cool like this apparently. I really don't like blaming the devs for bad things in games, so all I can hope is that this is some sort of unintentional bug, or maybe the stages are supposed to fade the colors in and out of each other? Either way, what we have is this, and it kinda genuinely sucks. So as a quick side note, I had to look into who made this game, and if you tap the info tab, you can see it's made by Red Fox Games. First off, I love the name. No, I'm not biased. Second, who are Red Fox Games? So, from what I could find, they're located in California, have roughly 50 employees, and primarily make mobile phone games. Doxing aside, that's all I could find on their LinkedIn page. On Facebook, the only social media platform they actually have a recent post on, they claim to be located in Australia now? Either way, the only official announcement they have ever made was via Facebook after 7 years of being inactive. Their customer support is non-existent, and I've tried reaching out multiple times in hopes of telling someone that their Pac-Man game is making me tweak like I'm high on power pills. Please, if one of the devs is watching, I don't hate you, but this really needs to be fixed. Now to cover some interesting details about this game that you may not notice. Credit to my friend Glitchberry for discovering a majority of these, as without her help, I would have been mostly guessing. So, compared to the original Pac-Man, I will say the changes in the fruit was confusing, but a welcome one. We get additions like an eggplant, bananas, donuts, a weird-looking Galaxian, as noted as the game internally, and I will say I like how there is a fox item that is most definitely a reference to the company that made this game. The final fruit or item obtainable in the game is Pac-Man himself? I feel like this is the part of the game that is straight out of a creepypasta because this is only obtainable on stage 13 with Doom Speed, and I don't know about you, but forward-facing Pac-Man is kind of unsettling to look at. Oh, and if you do manage to collect him, you get 0 points, but you do get an extra life. As Glitchberry pointed out, the duration of the power pellets are much different, with the runs at Superfast lasting a bit longer than the original Pac-Man. Also, within the source files, the font used in-game is Press Start 2 Player, which you can easily find here via Google Fonts. Another thing she found was background assets and colored borders, which you can choose from the menu. Right now, these haven't been uploaded anywhere, so I put them in a Google Drive link below. If she ever uploads them somewhere else, I'll be sure to update it though. Also, on the screen here, right at the end, the animation for Pac-Man is broken. I checked this on mobile and PC, and yeah, it's pretty consistent. Don't know why, but funny little glitch there. I will admit I've been a bit more critical of this game than I should be, calling it a dollar store version of Championship Edition, and as Red pointed out, Pac-Man 99 does have the same thing going for it. But we can all agree that what made it unique was the multiplayer aspect. Glitchberry also brings up a good point that it's definitely one of the best playables out there. And you know what? She's right. My only problem is that the bar for quality on these YouTube playables is already so low that an established IP like Pac-Man should be a smash hit regardless of what the platform is. And once again, like Pac-Man Chomp Champs, nobody's ever heard of this game. It's part of the reason why I wanted to cover this. With so many games these days being made and disposed of so casually by big companies and higher-ups, I want to do my part in documenting this game if it ever disappears. People deserve to know what's coming and what they're being served. Okay, so one super cool thing that is being done with the game right now is modding. If you don't mind screwing around in Inspect Element and going to sources, the game is actually pretty highly customizable. My favorite change is what Glitchberry suggested to me. If you don't think the game is fast enough, just go here and change the speed values to be slightly higher after every level. And boy, this is what super fast should really be. Man, I can't believe I had to end the video like this. Too bad this game is an irredeemable pile of trash. Oh hey, it's a call from me. Wait, they updated the game? There's no more flashing? They actually fixed it? This is terrible. If only I had a plot-convenient time machine to warn myself that the game wasn't that bad. Huh? Oh, thank goodness, Miss Pac-Man is here. Not gonna lie, this place looks tiny. How do you plan to fit in here? Anyway, I got a video to save, so full power! Hey, it's me from the future! Later in the video, I gotta warn you that the game is actually not that bad. Well, no idea if that will have any repercussions, so in the meantime, let's review the new version of the game here. Turns out, while I was editing this video, they updated the game, and while that makes me happy, I'm also pretty mad because now I have to go into detail with these new changes. To start, I'd like to note that this happened in roughly a month. So if you boot up the game now, you will get the updated version of Superfast made on November 15th, 2024, and not the original made in October 8th, 2024. To address the biggest problem, before I go in depth, yes, they fixed the flashing maze colors. When you get to the higher speed levels, everything is a solid color as it should be. The controls are somehow much tighter and responsive. In short, they fixed the biggest problems I was not a fan of. Aside from that, what has changed about Superfast overall? Well, to keep things simple, I'll keep the old version on the left and the updated version on the right when I'm doing my comparisons. Comparing the main menu and high score screens, the font change is the most obvious, with it being the Lexan Deca instead of the oh-so-popular retro press start 2-player one. So how about the stages? Well, the changes take effect at crazy speed, where instead of getting a neon blue maze, we get this pink one that looks exactly like Miss Pac-Man's maze. And to top it off, this is where the skin changes come into play, with Pac-Man and the monsters getting their neon look based off of Championship Edition. At insane speed, we get this rather looking nice banana cream maze design. Maniac speed is sporting this yellowish lime green maze. Now, in the old version, Maniac Plus 1 through 3 would just start flashing colors at you. In the update, I'm happy to say none of that is the problem anymore, because now Maniac Plus has a nice easy on the eyes pastel green maze look. Maniac Plus Plus shows off a really nice sky blue maze, and Maniac Plus 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 has a pastel purple going for it. Now, the final stage Doom Speed has been updated, and gone is the insane flashing, and is now replaced with the great purple maze design. It's a bit of a letdown, as it would have been really cool if the colors changed here, but more slowly. But honestly, at this rate, I'm just happy it's not a genuine pain to look at anymore. So with all the stuff shown off, what else has changed? Well, for one, all the backgrounds in the game have been changed slightly. I'll try not to soyjack react at every change I've noted, but all of them have received minor changes in one way or another. Feel free to pause the video to play Spot the Difference if you please. The one I miss the most is the black border that has these really cool neon stickers of Pac-Man that straight up get removed in the update, replaced with more subtle hints of Red Fox and the new fruits in the game. I have no idea why these changes were made, but my biggest guess would have to be someone on the Namco team had to notice that some of the guidelines weren't up to snuff? Maybe there's some sort of big bad evil Pac-Man mandate I don't know about. Going under the hood of the game, we're met with some small yet surprising changes. First thing to note is that, as noted earlier, this game was updated on November 15th, roughly a month after the first version. What I find most interesting while digging is that there are now 2 new speed levels in the game, that being Doom Plus and Doom Plus Plus. However, you cannot reach anything higher than Doom speed in this game, as Stage 13 is the final level and you cannot gain anything faster. Now, remember how I said this game was quite slow earlier? Well, someone must have noticed that, because even the speed values were changed too. Doing a side-by-side, you can see after Stage 4, very fast, your speed value goes up from 1.8 to 1.11. In super fast, you go from 1.12 to 1.16, and so on. However, the speed still caps at 1.5 by the time you get to the final stage. The 2 unused speeds, Doom Plus and Doom Double Plus, both have speed values in there too, but at the time of this video, they go unused. So overall, they do make you go faster, even if it's just by a hair. Funnily enough, they even decided to change the values and how long the power pellets operate. Again, I'll try to keep my nerding out to a minimum, but now I'm quite interested in how it closely resembles the original's durations. There's a chart here if you're interested, but in the original Pac-Man, it starts off strong, but occasionally spikes before plummeting back down to 1. In the original version of Superfast, the power levels would just go down on a steady decline. And now in the updated version of Superfast, you have that small spike upwards in Stage 7, then it plummets again. Now, this might be too much for a simple game, but visualizing it like this helps show off the differences for a stupid person like me, as I'm more of a visual learner. But yeah, based on this here, they technically made the update a little bit harder. As for other weird quirks and details I haven't pointed out yet, there's still some bugs between both versions of the game that haven't been fixed in the update. For one, the sound effects are still broken, the power pellets still flash way too fast, and the ghosts become vulnerable a little earlier than they should be. So looking back, is Pac-Man Superfast a good or bad game? Well, if I had gotten this video done earlier before the update, I would have given this a terrible no good trash rating. But now with the update, sadly, I have to swallow my rage and pride and admit it's pretty good or pretty decent. Are there better ways to play Pac-Man? Oh, of course, there definitely is, but as a YouTube exclusive, I can't complain too much about this. but I will note that it is required to have an account to play the game. I want to thank Glitch for helping me dig into this game properly and ripping the assets for the backgrounds and finding some of the values and a lot of stuff I was just having a hard time finding. Another big thanks to my friend Red for letting me use his artwork of Miss Pac-Man, and my current channel artist Lyra for making the thumbnail and artwork of Pac-Man on screen. Most importantly, I want to give a big thank you to all my Ko-fi members who have been keeping me going, and all of you beautiful people for watching. As I always say, see you later, and remember, stay foxy.